So, this will probably be the last time he comes on the show, and I'll address him as Sergeant McNeely. The next time he'll be here, he'll be Lieutenant McNeely, promoted earlier this week, and it's going to be taking place, what, next week or week after?
Yeah, it'll be official May 20th,
All right,
so we'll start that process then.
All right, man, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, look, you're here this week to talk about National Police Week that takes place next week. It starts Sunday through Saturday, started way back in 1962 by President Kennedy, and law enforcement agencies from around the country go to Washington, D.C., and there is a huge ceremony and a series of activities that take place here. The city does something here for the fallen as well. But for someone who is unaware about Police Week, talk a little bit about what that is.
Well, it's a national event that we have, and we celebrate it here, like you said, in Baton Rouge, and we remember our fallen officers, deputies, all law enforcement, their sacrifice that they made to the community and for society. It's a trying action that's on the officer and their families.
Right.
So we honor not only the fallen officer, but we honor the families for their sacrifice. It takes a toll on us all, and so it's more of an appreciation and a remembrance of the actions that they had taken in that moment to give their life for their fellow mankind, brother, and for society.
As I referenced, it goes all the way back to 1962. Is it different now, though, in the era of what we just talked about with Dr. Benson, social media and all the criticism of law enforcement? Does this week take on a different significance now?
I would say both, yes and no.
Okay.
As far as the ceremonial process that we have, and celebrating the life of the officers and their sacrifice along with the families, that's the same, because it's a trying time in remembrance, right? But when you're putting that message out and reminding the community of the sacrifice that all law enforcement make to make sure you're safe. There's an element of people out there who don't believe in service, right? And they feel that they can do anything at any time without having the structure of society. Chief LaDuff, many years ago, would say that law enforcement officers, we're the buffer. We stand in the middle between chaos and calm. And if you don't have that buffer, it's gonna be chaos.
Right.
So overall, it's a remembrance of the sacrifice, and then again, it's the thought that we need law enforcement in that place to make sure that everybody's safe. At the end of the day, people want to be safe.
People want to be safe. What about the work that's being done now? I know the police department has been out a lot engaging with the community, trying to build that bridge back between law enforcement and their community. Tell me how that's going.
Well, we've been pushing hard. I think it's been going great. The idea of working as a unit with us in the community is the only way that we can affect change. Our effort is to make sure that the community is informed. And if you're informed and you have that information is power, and we're working with the community to make sure that they're informed and letting them know that the people who want to do the right thing, we're on your side. And the people who want to do the bad things out there, we're gonna put you in jail. So we want you to have that bit of information to know the difference.
Right.
We do target enforcement. It's not a blanket approach. Right. We go after those bad actors.
The department right now up at the website has a dashboard, a crime dashboard, that people could see the trends of what's happening in the community. In about 30 seconds, tell me about that.
Well, it's important that people know what we're doing, right, and what the numbers are. There's a false narrative out there of crime being out of control. So you can actually go to there and look at the real numbers of what happened, what's going on in the city. We don't make those numbers up. It's what's there. It's a fact. You can pull it. We can prove it. We can show you where we at, where we were, and the progress that we're making to make sure Baton Rouge is better.
Well, there's a 43% reduction in violent crime and homicides as we speak
right
now.
Right.
So hopefully this will be a better year for Baton Rouge and all of the citizens here. And I got 30 seconds, man, Lieutenant. Hey,
thank you.
Hey, coming up, there's a couple of great events taking place in Baton Rouge. One that's going to go on for a series of weeks, and the other taking place next weekend. We'll tell you about them both in the next segment. And then the last segment of the show features a conversation with a gentleman who has taken some things from his past and turned it into purpose. We had a great conversation. I cannot wait to introduce you to him, and we'll do all of that coming up next. It's Mother's Day weekend, y'all. Hopefully you spent some money. Back in a moment.